Hello, good morning. It's your host Edgar once again. As promised, I'm back to discuss some subjects now, comments you made on my videos. Before I go on to discussing your comments, I would like to discuss or voice out my opinion about the recommendations or the announcement made by the Prime Minister last night. Um, we have the issue of a definition of key worker. Now we have to understand who is a key worker. Can the Prime Minister explain to the public or to the country who is a key worker? For people like us who go out on our daily jobs, working in the safety areas of being a gas safe engineer, which is a safety issue, I would like to understand what will happen to a customer, or if a customer called and they've got an issue with a gas leak or a carbon monoxide leak in their property. Surely that is a dangerous situation, and it is difficult for me now to define who is a key worker. We've not been mentioned in these areas or as persons classified as key workers. There was a point on the news yesterday about construction workers working, and the reporter seems to think that it's not a vital role or at that time or at this time of this crisis. But I would like a clarification, and I'm sure many of us out there who work in the same industry or other industries that think that should be classed as key workers, because I'm pretty sure if your heating or boiler breaks down in your property, you will not be able to live in that property comfortably. You will probably have to leave the property or vacate the property. So I would like your comments below regarding this, or any points you might have to add to this about this key worker issue. So it would be really good for the Prime Minister to come out with a clear definition of who is a key worker, and we'll look forward to that clarification. Maybe later this week we'll get that. Now I'm going to move to the next subject, which will be the comments made by one of my viewers yesterday. Jensen, thank you very much for your comment. Thank you for your like, guys, and thank you for all those who subscribe to this channel. And please, if you haven't subscribed, please, as soon as you finish watching the video or whilst you're watching, please subscribe and press the notification button so that you get a daily notification when I release my videos about heating system. So Jensen has asked a question: how to top up water level in a boiler. So this is one very common issue with boilers. Most boilers will shut down when they run low pressure. So when it gets to a certain pressure, which is just below 1 or to 0 bars in the boiler would automatically shut down for safety reasons. So for that reason, you would need to refill the boiler or top up the boiler. So I would like to show you what you should be looking out for. On some boilers, you would have a gauge. It will look like that, if you can see that. So it's numbered 1 to 4 bars. This one is. But what you're looking out for is from 0 to 1 on the gauge. And if you lose pressure on your boiler, that gauge will most likely be on 0. And when that happens, what you need to do is to switch off the boiler and use a top-up loop or filling point to refill the boiler and carry out the procedure of topping up and refilling the heating system. Now, the way to do that could be tricky. Some boilers have got built-in top-up points where you can top up the boilers. Because this is a quick video, on my coming videos, I'm going to be showing pictures and of different types of boilers, built-in boilers, top-up points. But for today, I think I'm going to be using this. This is one other device you want to be looking out for on a heating system. This is a filling loop, and it's got a non-return valve and a valve, a shut-off valve. So there are two valves here that you will need to operate to fill your system. Now, this is a different type of filling system. Sometimes the boilers don't come with a built-in filling loop. If they don't come with a built-in filling loop, we install one of these on the pipes, and once you find this, then you can use this to top up. You might have some of them with a black knob on the top that you can use to control, switch on and off the flow, or it might just have like a button slit on the valve. What you need is a flat screwdriver, and you want to turn that to be perpendicular with the pipe, and that's the close position. And to open it, you want to turn that button like that to be parallel with the pipe, in line with the pipe. That is the flow position. Now, before you do any of this, the first thing you want to do when you lose pressure in the boiler is to switch off your heating system. Sometimes you can do it from the boiler. Other times, if you can't do it from the boiler, you would have an isolation switch or a fuse pole switch, which is just like a normal switch. I will show some of this in my coming videos. You turn your switch off to the boiler, and if the boiler has been on for a while, you want it to cool down. Give it about 10 minutes for the boiler to cool down. The reason being is because, as we know from elementary school, when you heat water, the volume expands. So it's very difficult to tell what the pressure is when the heating is on, because the water would have expanded, and the gauge would not be telling you the correct pressure in the system. So, having switched off the boiler, the next thing you want to do is to locate the filling loop I discussed earlier. And the filling loop is located underneath most of the boilers. A combi boilers, you would have the filling loop located there. On a system boiler, you most likely have one of these external filling loop, as we call them. Now, back to the gauge. With the issue of topping up, you want to know what pressure to top up your boiler to. And the true and correct pressure to top up your boiler to, what we call standing pressure, is 1.5 bars. I'm going to put that on the board. That is what we call the standing pressure. So you want to raise the water pressure in your system to 1.5 bars, and once you've done that, you want to go around your radiators. I'm sure most of you in the UK would know what a radiator is, and the reason you want to go to your radiators next is you need to bleed the system. Now, to do this, what we call bleeding the system or venting the system, which is to get rid of any air in the system, is to open up the valves on the top part of the radiator. I'll show some of this on my next videos. And you want this key. That's a key, a bleeding key. It's £1 in the shop, and sometimes you might find it cheaper. You want one of these, and what you want to do is you start from the bottom part of the house. If you live on a different level floor in your house, you want to start from the bottom part and bleed the radiator, bleed each radiator around that area, and then move upstairs and finish up upstairs. While you do the bleeding, what you really want to do is to go back to the boiler or wherever your gauge is located and make sure the pressure you've topped up to 1.5 has not dropped down to 0. And you repeat this process until the system is filled. Once the air is being removed from the system, from all your radiators, starting from the bottom to the top, then you go back and check the gauge and make sure it's sitting at 1.5 bars. And once it's done that, you want to reset your boilers. Now, to reset the boilers can be tricky for some boilers, but in most cases, that is why when you switch off the boiler, it will reset it in most cases. In some cases, it will not. And you want to follow your manufacturer's instructions to see how you can get that back on. Or give us a call on our WhatsApp call, and that's a very straightforward thing to do. We can talk you through how to do that. So you switch back the boiler, switch it on, and that will bring your boiler back to life, and your system will be ready to go. So I hope that has answered your question and regarding filling your system. So guys, I'm going to leave it at this now. I want you to leave your comment below, and any other subjects you want or or issues you would like me to discuss going forward, I will be happy to do so. Please leave your comment below, like my video, share, and also please subscribe and hit the notification button, the big bell on the side, so that you will get notifications when I release my videos each morning. I wish to. Thank you very much guys for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Thank you. Bye.